My name's Nick, and I've played so much League of Legends. I love playing uh Jared Top. What's up? We're back. Response on players with another Riftbound and Down. Uh Hopefully you guys had a good holiday. So in case you've forgotten, I'm Jake, and I'm joined by the incomparable.
Nick.
And the very comparably, Bryan.
You don't have to compare yourself to others, Bryan. You're great the way you are.
Yes, but I could be compared to other people. So I'm much more comparable compared to your
I think you're actually less
non-comparison.
comparable to other people, actually, like when I think about it.
Well.
You're unique in your own ways. It's okay.
All right, what do you
So
got for me today?
This week, I think we're going to talk about some of the results coming out of some of the different events happening in China as we look forward towards Spiritforged with it being here next month. I think it's interesting to look at what's already developing in China. Now, I do want to preface this by saying it's very interesting that the beginning of our meta here in the US did match a lot of what they were playing, but towards the end, we saw a lot of Annie, and I feel like we've seen more Western skill expression out of the game that wasn't present in China. So I really think, obviously, we'll see how our own meta develops. But I actually, looking at these tournament lists and where different legends landed, I'm interested to see what our skill expression looks like over here in the US. Just because there's some competitors here that I didn't think were even going to be this high on some of these lists.
Oh, you mean some of the legends?
Exactly. Yeah, that when I say competitor, I mean legends. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who like any of these players are.
That's
Um,
fair. I also don't know any of them. I'm very unpracticed in my different Chinese dialects readings.
so not only that, but what I mean is the legends themselves, like the legends that are being played, and seeing some success. Nick, what is your take? Like, what do you think is one of the most surprising things you've seen, or something? I want a prediction out of you.
Prediction
Yeah, so like
for
before
set
looking at all
two?
this, before looking at all this stuff, yeah, we could go as far as to like, do you think we're gonna see a lot of carryover at the beginning of set two? And do you think it'll, if you do
I
or don't, explain why or why not?
I don't think there'll be a lot of carryover. I think there's going to be a lot of new shiny things that people are going to want to try. So at least initially, we're going to see more of the new characters, and I think as we get more time with the set and the cards, we might see some set one characters and everything come back to the forefront. But uh, I think it's going to be a lot of new characters and a bit of a shakeup.
Makes sense.
Then I believe the opposite. So going into this first one, we're going to be looking at the Shanghai City Challenge that happened. It looks like
Uh,
just last week.
I believe it. I believe all three that we wanted to look at are on the 27th.
Cool. This event had 128 players, as well the other ones we were looking at. We wanted something with good sample sizes, so I'm interested to tackle this. First place was taken by an Irelia in the
Aurelia.
Shanghai City Challenge.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, like, I really won. Second place was Azir, someone who was not on my bingo list at all. Like, I thought Aurelia
Yeah.
was cool, so like, oh, there's definitely a world where I could see her doing good.
Seeing the Azir in the top is really interesting.
Yeah, and if you look at like top eight, there's one, two, there's three Aurelias. So obviously China, at least in this section, this tournament, Irelia was maybe high on the list.
Yeah, it's really interesting looking at this before we get into the Irelia list at one. Azir being second, baffling. Not baffling. Okay, I like to overstate because my brother
Baffling.
says
Andrew liked this character. It
Andrew
has to
liked
be
this character.
bad.
It has to be bad. It should be showing up nowhere near the
Baffling.
top. Baffling. But like Azir being a dependent on gear character for his ability to work, I kind of more figure decks like these, once they get solved, or like if they become any bit of a problem, they cause interesting meta shifts. I feel
Sure.
like just and any leftover from dealing with dazzling aurora kind of also just deals with some of these, but maybe there's something more to it. But it is cool to see it, topping. Third place in this one being Kaisa.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Not surprising.
I mean, it's cool to see that Kaisa had.
Yeah.
It's still good. I mean, it's basically the idea of if it's not broke, don't fix it. Let's try and see if the good stuff is still good. I haven't looked at the list yet
Well,
to
so
see if it got
looking at the
changed.
list, it's different. Like there's of course you got some of your staples and everything, but there's a lot of new stuff in here
Yeah, I'm
that
looking through
makes
it
it
right now, and I'm like, okay,
pretty
that's new, that's
interesting.
new, that's new. Like, this is cool because there's a lot of changes to this list, but this leader, like this legend, is still good.
Yeah, all 3 new battlefields. It's
No,
cool.
this one's still playing Void Gate.
Yeah, Void Gate
Oh,
and Zone
my
Warrens
bad.
aren't
And
new.
Zon
Just Raven
Warrens,
Bloom
yeah.
is new.
Yeah, Raven Bloom is the only new one.
But I mean, like, about a third of the
Well, I've never
deck
played those
is
battlefields in my
new.
life, so
Like,
What's interesting is there's no
they look new to me.
sideboard on this one.
it's probable that it just
Yeah,
didn't get uploaded.
some of them have sideboards, some of them don't.
Maybe they just weren't playing a sideboard. Like, they're just like, I don't care
They
enough about
said,
this. Let me do
I
this.
don't need that.
But yeah, like this one's interesting. Uh, Another outlier that I think is really cool. We were talking about these characters that rely on gear. Lucian was in the top 8.
No.
Yes, which is pretty awesome to see, because I was thinking, Lucian's one of those characters I was very interested in. He's a character I like from League of Legends, so I really wanted to see, after we saw his legend, what his champion card did. And while I think he's really interesting, um, it it is cool to see that one topped. And when you do start looking at this list, we're not going to go over all these lists in detail, but like some highlights. I mean, you're seeing you're seeing 3 of the good Kaisa. He's playing the Akshan the new Akshan as a one of, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Which like grabs other people's equipments.
Yeah, steal their stuff. That is fun.
Akshan, also a character I really like playing in League of Legends. His grappling hook is so fun to play with. Um, Actually playing 3 Lucian Merciless. So a lot of these decks, they're not really playing around their champion or their chosen champion. A lot of them want to play like that one chosen champion and then use it when the time's right. So this one you're playing 3 Lucian Merciless, which is cool. I mean, it's a 3 cost, no power cost, so it's very easy to play out early. Um, One thing this list has in conjunction with the other Kaisa list is it's playing the Buren Thunder song, the one that says when you play me, opponents can't play spells this turn.
Yeah, Brinier.
So it's playing that, which is pretty crazy, actually.
I will say, I looked at this card a few different times when we were talking about like different things and we're trying to build stuff, and I was like, this seems really good, but it's kind of expensive. But if we like know that that's the turn that we're just going to engage on, pay 6, you can't interact with me, I win the game because I win on board, is pretty good.
Yeah, very true.
Another holdout from set 1, Master Yi, was in the top 8 on this list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, his list doesn't look like it changed a whole lot. It got a few add-ins, but
Yeah, I'm like, that's new. Yeah, it's not really that different. Looks like it got a couple random cards. I am seeing Punch First come up a lot on a lot of these, which kind of makes sense
I
because
mean,
+5 is a million.
punch first, pretty good.
Yeah, only having to tap one, but recycling two. I mean, recycling two is a lot, but for one, getting 5 might is insane.
And I'm only seeing it in like a couple of these. I think only one of them that we've looked at really has had. I guess the Irelia has green, but we haven't really talked about it. Um, Not so fast. Cancel a spell. Like spell ability that chooses a friendly unit. Target my stuff. I say no. It doesn't care if it was expensive or not. That's a big deal in our game currently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's probably in the
yeah,
Irelia list. I haven't actually looked at it yet.
it is.
yeah. I think there's a bunch of really interesting stuff. Top 16 set, really cool. Seeing Draven, Irelia, Lucian, all decks that I'm interested in looking at.
Yeah, I mean Draven's on
But
my
I
short
think,
list because I think Draven's cool. There's a Sivir in here apparently
yeah,
in top 16, which nothing to sniff at. Like you can't scoff at being 2 wins away from being the best.
yeah, Ezreal up here.
Yeah, like
So
there's some cool stuff in this
Yeah.
section.
yeah, there's some definite cool stuff. But let's now that we've gone over some of the cool stuff that did make it, let's go over this Aurelia list.
Sure, yeah, let's talk about Irelia. Blade Dancer.
So Aurelia, as you know, when you choose a friendly unit, you may exhaust Aurelia and pay 1 power to ready it.
True.
Um, when you conquer, you may pay 1 to ready Aurelia. So you do have potential ways to like ready several things to get some aggro going. Playing playing as the chosen champion, playing the green Aurelia fervent, which is a 5 cost, no power. Um, Deflect. When you choose a ready me, give me 1 might this turn.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a static. So if you ready this Aurelia multiple times, it just gets harder to deal with, and it has deflect. So chances are it's going to stay on the board.
Very true. Or you're paying dearly to get rid of it.
Exactly. This one is playing 2 of the new Lonely Poro. If I died alone, draw 1. That's a death knell effect.
Death Knell, drawing cards to replace when they target me. Seems solid. This new Treasure Hunter card,
Mm-hmm.
which just says
Yeah,
when
just
I move, play
when
a
it
gold,
moves.
get exhausted.
Yeah, that's really good. Um, it combos pretty well with the Siren, which is a gear in the list that lets you move a friendly unit from battlefield to your
Oh yeah,
base.
from set one. Yeah, the Siren.
Yeah,
Uh,
you also have the new Fizz. When you play
Eh,
you may play a spell from your trash with an energy cost no more than 3, ignoring its energy cost. Recycle that spell after you play it, which
that
is pretty interesting.
is yeah. I'm like it's cool. This idea of like playing, say, I'm looking at the spells
You
here.
can you can play Stack Deck, you can play
Yeah,
Defiant
yeah. I was
Dance, you can
like
play Charm.
playing stat deck. I'm like I play Fizz. I play stat deck. The stat deck goes on bottom of my deck.
Yeah.
Um,
You can play Ride the Wind, you can play Rebuke, you can play all kinds of things. Actually, so
Rebuke is
I
also. It doesn't say that we ignore energy costs, so or I
correct.
mean
So
like
you're still good.
a power
The
cost. I
power
mean,
cross. Mm-hmm.
it says
just energy.
from your trash with energy costs no more than 3, ignoring its energy. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, so we
yeah,
still
but
have
yeah,
to
Yeah,
we
yeah,
still
so
have
it
to
that's
still pays
recycle,
power.
which
Mm-hmm.
means
yeah.
we're looking at charm is totally good. Well, yeah, I mean, like repeating a defiant stance is totally fine. Uh, Not so fast to
That
cancel something
is the
is a little awkward because you'd have to like force it in. Ride the Wind is actually a really great target. Like Ride the Wind, uh, Hard Bargain, Discipline, just like slam these big effects in. Discipline's great because you don't even recycle on it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Also, a new card, Stella Corn Herder. When I move, draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cool like when I move effects in green and purple right here.
And it
Um,
really makes them move.
yeah, exactly. So you got some really cool stuff that you're gonna be able to do. I feel like you've got playing the new Vex, playing one of new Vex in this list, which is
Mm-hmm.
when I'm in combat, friendly spells cost one less energy
And one less power.
and one power to a minimum of one energy, and enemy spells cost one more and one power more.
Yeah,
So
that
if
card's
you want to
so good.
interact with Vex while it's in combat, you've got to pay. You have to pay extra for it. You have
It's
to pay
like
that
it's just
premium.
extra. It's basically like extra deflect,
Exactly.
and it
Like
applies to
imagine
your
putting
allies.
yeah, imagine putting like deflect on this Vex.
Yeah, right. And like, yeah, I mean, just recycle 3 or 4 to kill this Vex and pay 1 extra. Just undo your whole game plan to get rid of Vex.
And then the last unit it's playing in this list is playing one of Draven Audacious, the purple Draven.
Draven's
Which is
good.
New
the
Draven's
flex
good.
Draven. The first time I win a combat each turn, you score 1 point. When I die in combat, choose an opponent. They score 1 point, which is really crazy in this list. And the big thing why I think this is crazy is because you don't really want to just give them a free spot. Like you don't want to go, oh, well, I'm going to take this 1 point, because you can play Draven, use Irelia, and pay to ready it. Immediately move Draven in. The turn it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Win the combat, get 2 points for that tempo swing, and then if you do have another thing, like you then because you've now won a combat, you can ready Irelia,
Mm-hmm. You
target Draven with
successfully
something
conquer.
else, and just move him out.
Yeah, the fact that you can just save the Draven, just kind of slam them in, get your 2 points, pull them out, and then the only way they're allowed to kill the Draven is by not combat effects, so they don't get the bonus of killing him, is very cool. Like putting him back in base and then having them just blow him up and go, yeah, man, you killed him, you got me.
Yeah, and you also having like the siren to go. Okay, well, I went in and conquered. I don't have anything. Uh, I'm gonna move the I'm gonna use the siren to move something from battlefield
Yeah,
back
back
to
to
my
base.
base, and which is also really good for like, you're basically paying 1 to draw an extra card with Stellacorn or Treasure Hunter. You're just getting a gold for later. So those are really interesting. And then we've got Boots of Swiftness, obviously, for ganking. Ganking very important in this list. I'd be willing to wager.
Yeah, I
Um,
bet Draven, like Draven boots again, like obviously Irelia Fervent with ganking, just slam back and forth between the two of them,
Oh,
solve the
yeah.
problem, and then just bring her back at the end of it,
yeah.
and just have her be safe at base again.
Yeah, you got like Heart of Dark Ice, which is tap, give a unit 3 might this turn, which is really important because you can tap, give a unit that's targeting that unit,
Yep.
which then triggers Irelia.
Yeah, he's like, plus 4 to Irelia. I just doubled her power.
Which is also really interesting because you can go the Siren. I'm gonna move a friendly unit. I'm now targeting that unit, Irelia. I'm now gonna ready said unit,
Mm-hmm.
and move it somewhere else. So
yeah, like Irelia Fervent is very easily like a 5 might, 6, like 6 might, 7 might unit by the time it decides to interact with people most of the time, which I think is really
and a good old Seal of Discord.
Oh yeah, classic seal. We're making some gold to pay for
pay
stuff.
For the Irelia cost, yeah.
Guardian Angel, of course, just rebuy my character. They don't die. Edge of Night is cool. Reveal it because it's got hidden. You attach it to the unit, like just an
Last
additional
Rites
+2 power.
Cool too.
Yeah, Last Rites is very cool. When I conquer a hold, you play a unit from your trash is very strong. Especially since, like, sure you have to pay for it, but like, who cares if you're paying the normal cost? It's not in your hand. Yeah, Last Rites is sick. I think this card's really good.
Yeah, moving into the spells. I mean, that's all the gear. It's got Charm, Defiant Dance. Defiant Dance being Aurelia's spell. It's playing 1 Charm and playing 3 Defiant Dance. Give a unit 2 might this turn and another unit +2 might this turn, and it's a reaction.
Yeah,
So
+2 -2. Mm-hmm.
So, or yeah, give another unit -2. So +2, -2 for 1 and a power. That's pretty good. Plus it triggers Irelia.
Yeah, I mean it makes Irelia 7.
You have 1 stack deck, 3 discipline. Discipline very good. Here's 2 might draw card for 2, and not having to recycle. Discipline very good card. 1 hard bargain, which is the one of the new cards. It's a reaction. It costs 2 energy, and it's got repeat 2. Counter a spell unless its controller pays 2.
And if you repeat it, it's pay 4.
Yeah, so you can go, cool, I'm going to spend 4. Now they have to pay 2 instances of 2. That might even make it so they can't even it's just counter a spell.
Yeah.
So no restrictions like defy.
I think this card's very good.
Yeah, I think one of maybe I could see that being a 2 of also, but I think it's interesting. Also playing not so fast, playing 3 not so fast. Counter an enemy spell or ability that chooses a friendly unit or gear.
Yeah, which I think is very strong. Pay 2, pay a power is,
yeah.
It's just no. There's no questions, just no, and that's very good.
Playing 3 rebuke, very good card.
Goes well with the move my cards around idea that's happening.
Yeah, it'll let you do both options. I move my stuff, I move your stuff. I've got plenty of options here.
And then ride the wind, very good. Seeing a lot of decks playing 2 of move friendly unit and ready it.
And everything that's here is playable by Fizz. There's not a card that is not targetable spell-wise on cost.
Yeah, so like Fizz is just a what do I need this turn?
Yeah, just because I play Fizz and also I do this thing.
Yeah, I think you also have, so your battlefields are the Dreaming Tree, which is the first time you choose a friendly unit with a spell here each turn, draw a card.
Makes sense.
Obviously very good for Irelia because you're just going to go, cool, I'm going to choose it, draw it ready, move it somewhere else. The Paper Tree, which is a new card, is when you hold here, each player
channels when exhausted.
Exactly. And then you have Veiled Temple. When you conquer here, you may ready a friendly gear. If it's an equipment, you may detach it.
Yeah. All these seem really good. It makes sense. Like Dreaming Tree just draws you a bunch of cards. Paper Tree just lets you kind of stay ahead. Your opponent doesn't really want to take it from you. Because they also might want the free rune. But obviously they don't want to give you the point. And then you can like defend it really well with your spells. Veiled Temple is the least good. I mean, I guess there's an idea where you Veiled Temple, you get to use Treasure Hunter a lot. Those gear tokens, those gold gears, are ready so that you can spend them on defense.
Yeah, or you can equip it. What's really interesting is you can detach an equipment, so you can then detach something and then attach it to something else to trigger Irelia. I think is like the
yeah, I guess it's on Conquer, so yeah.
Yeah, so I can go, cool, I conquered here with this thing. I detached. Okay, now you can attach it to the same thing. It doesn't say you can't. So you attach it, cool, and I've now readied the unit I just moved with Irelia, so now I'm going to move it again.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Playing 5 calm rooms, have a chaos rune. Sideboard is Thwonk, which is a 2-cost repeatable action that says stun an attacking unit.
Repeat. You can do it again.
Yeah, you just pay 2 over and over and over again. This card is silly for like Leona.
Yes, I saw this card. I was like, ooh, in Leona, that's kind of funny.
You also have Disarming Rake as a 2 of in the sideboard. When you play me, you may kill a gear. So it's a cost 3 and a power, and it's a 2 might unit, which is good because it just kills a gear.
Yeah, body body and gear.
Yep. Janna in the sideboard. It's a 1 of. It's a creature with reaction. I like creatures with reaction. When you play me, heal your units here, then move an enemy unit from here to its base.
Ooh.
Pretty much stop a combat most of the time with that.
You can either stop a combat, or a lot of people they'll start dealing damage, so you can react with Janna to move something away and then heal all your stuff.
Yeah, and then win that combat, which lets you conquer. Like you win a combat, that stuff's pretty good. Winning
Yeah, and then
combat's
you'll lose a
important.
lot less stuff when you do it. So
Yeah.
third Irelia Fervent in the sideboard. Tiana Crown Guard is a one of deflect while I'm at a battlefield. Opponents can't score points.
Is wild if you can actually defend her for like a turn.
Yeah,
If you're like,
is
you can't
good,
win.
but only 4 power.
4 mana.
I mean, the trick would
My bad.
be to if you can get her on field, and they come after you, and they use Janna to just go. Actually, you didn't win this. Turns out you can't win the you can win the other one if you want, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's got Downwell, which is a spell. It costs 8 power, 8 and 2 power. Return all units and gear to their owner's hands. Seems interesting. It's a one of in the sideboard. And then one White Flame Protector. We all know what White Flame Protector does.
Yeah, it gives Irelia a +9.
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
Yeah, I think this list is really cool. I thought Irelia would be cool anyway, so like I'm excited to see this list that kind of like vindicates me on this. Like, it seems like it'd be really good to move everything around a lot.
I mean, I'm all for Irelia and Ezekiel, so we'll see how
Ezreal.
those turn out. Israel, whatever.
Yeah, Ezekiel, my
I
favorite League
played-
of Legends character. I've played League of Legends. I really love playing
So
Hector. No,
make fun of me all you want
Hold
for
on.
mispronouncing their names because I don't care.
My name's Nick, and I've played so much League of Legends. I love playing Jared Top. That's gonna cover the Shanghai City Challenge. I'm gonna kind of go through these once again. Now we're looking at a tournament that took place in Wuhan, another city challenge. Another 128 players. Notably different. This one won by a Draven.
Totally different. Only one old meta character in the top 8. It might actually be only one meta character.
I mean, you got to go pretty far down to find Master Yi.
Yeah, I was like,
Top 32.
3 Kaisas made it into top 16. Only one of them made top 8.
Notable, and Azir made top 32 in this one also. Not as high as like top 8 or top
not as high as second.
Hey, there continues to be 3 Aurelias in top 8. But surprisingly, a little surprisingly, Fiora.
Yeah, Fiora is surprising because I didn't have Fiora really on my list since she is a deck character. And the other deck characters are not great. They're cool. I think I like them.
Victor pops up.
That's fair. I guess Victor does pop up. You're right.
Yeah.
Victor pops up.
But has not really made waves yet either.
I will say when I was talking to some of the top players in Houston, Fiora was one that was that was expressed interest in. What's up, Nick?
Excuse you guys. Rumble is in the top 32 on this list.
Oh, dang. Both starters for
Yeah.
Spiritforged within top 32? That's not...
Watch out.
Wait, where's Rumble? I don't see Rumble.
Let me go down
You gotta
here.
scroll down a little bit to the top 32.
It's the bottom of the top 32, apparently.
Oh, that's Rumble. I thought that was... I see it. Never mind. I thought that was Ornn. I couldn't tell.
Oh, yeah, true. I did not see this as Rumble
next.
either. That's kind of interesting picture of Rumble.
Yeah, it's his alt.
It's his alt, man.
Like the two-tone.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
sorry. So we had opinions. You were saying in Houston, people were talking about Fiora.
Yes, people notably somebody that was in the top 8 talked a little bit about Fiora, expressed interest to me. I also agree, like making people when things become mighty, getting to channel runes, like being able to put pressure. I think Volibear. The biggest problem with Volibear is they have to come in and be mighty. She just needs to see them become mighty, so that gives you, in my opinion, a little bit more leeway to play stuff. Especially with like her champion from set 1, it only needs 1 might to become mighty.
Yeah.
I believe Kiana needs like 1 might to become mighty.
Correct.
So like
She's 4.
you've got good stuff on those characters. It's already seeing a lot of
Set
play.
Brawler only needs 1 might to become mighty. And also is allowed to do it on your opponent's turn. You can
Set
make them
Brawler
become
comes in
mighty.
and makes himself mighty. So the cool thing about Set Brawler and Fiora is Set Brawler is a 4 might character. He comes in, Fiora sees him come in, and then he buffs himself, becomes mighty, triggers Fiora.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really interesting. So I think Set Brawler are going to have good stocks in Fiora. But
Yeah,
there's, like I said, there's just good cards already that people are seeing in Fiora. So, like that you can make mighty, and then that allows you to channel runes, because one of the biggest things is like Set uses Kiana to channel runes to keep up because he's spending them constantly to keep stuff alive. Kiana then becomes more of a draw engine and with deflect.
And then Fiora, the other Fiora, the newest one, the one that came in this set, Worthy, gets to ready units that become mighty if you want to pay the one power for it, which just lets you go, hey man, Set Brawler comes in, he has Accelerate.
Yep.
And now he's 8, and then he becomes mighty again when he like you could just do a whole thing where he becomes big, like readies himself, all sorts of cool stuff.
What's really interesting also is this Fiora list is playing the Fiora Peerless also. When I attack or defend 1-on-1, double my might this combat, it then becomes mighty and triggers Irelia, or then triggers Fiora. So, which is really cool. I think that there are a lot of ways that you could use this to kind of like really get ahead. This list is playing like baited hook and stuff to kind of like play stuff and get to stuff, but I think there's a bunch of like really cool things you can do with this list, and allows Fiora to be kind of aggro if she really wants to be, and really ramp out if she feels she needs to.
I mean, the baited hook makes sense to me in this kind of list, because like you play something like Peerless, you attack alone, she doubles to 6, and then you sack her, and then she's allowed to find anything because she's a 6.
Yeah, she's only doubled to the combat, so you have to activate. You can't activate baited during your combat, I don't
believe. You're correct. You can't pay during combat, so she doesn't keep hers. Set keeps his.
Yeah, Set does keep his. So
like, but you have options where you do that, and then you like get Harness Dragon for free, and you just kill one of their units afterwards.
Yeah.
Just go, hey, this comes in, boom, destroy it. I don't pay the cost. I paid only the baited hook cost, basically.
Seeing that's really cool. I like seeing starter deck characters in tops, because it means like your starter decks are actually worth picking up instead of just going, I'll skip this one. Like, I don't need it. It's a starter deck. But it does also cause a problem, as we've seen in like universes, where starter deck cards are really good, so it makes it really hard for new players to find starter product, because nerds like us, and I say like us, not really us. I can't remember the last time we all less us, but like, say you're a team of 6 to 8 dudes, and there's a card that's meta relevant in one of these, or you try to have a play set of most relevant cards, as like we do for most card games we play. We have a deep card pool. So that makes this really difficult for new players to get in, because then I also need this deck, even though I've been established in the game for however many sets. And that means that it could be kind of hard to find if they don't produce enough of it. It gets like a tricky balance. And if it's just the character, maybe it's not that bad, because you buy 2 and you offload 1 or give 1 to somebody else, or like, and then you have your place at everything. So like the character being relevant, it's probably not that big of a deal, but
I mean, like tying into the thing you were saying, like when we were talking about like, oh, when these starter deck characters are relevant. I remember when this was a couple years ago. It's about to rotate out in universes, but Ochako 4, the newest Ochako at the time, where I came to a locals, I didn't have anything. because of other stuff going on. I forgot my stuff, and I was like, well, I'll just buy the Ochako starter and play that and do fine in this tournament, in this random locals event. And then like you get in the same vein where it's like that ended with another starter deck in my possession that I didn't necessarily need, but it like let me play for that week and be competitive.
I think yeah, I know that most, if not all, the cards, like we know the deck lists for these,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure every card in the decks comes in the set. So I feel like they
Yes.
are avoiding that problem, and I
I
believe you
agree.
can pull Fiora in the main set also. So I don't think it's a problem for Spiritforged or for Riftbound specifically. I just want to touch on that as like I hope we don't start getting unique cards to starter decks.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think starter products and the more options you have when you're getting into a game, like if I can go to my locals and I can see, and they have the Victor, the Jinx, um, the Lee Sin, and now they have Fiora and Rumble.
Mhm.
Like if I have the more options I have, the more comfortable I feel getting into a game, and I can pick what speaks to me instead of going, grab this deck. I don't. It was the only thing I could find, and then I hated playing it because it's not my play style. Well, I guess I'm not playing that game.
Yeah, it definitely feels good to be like, well, I think Fiora's cool, which is true. And then like it's nice to go, well, if I pick up the Fiora deck for some reason, I can just play Fiora. I'll have to probably rebuild her to more what I want to do, but I'm not wasting my time if I try and bring that somewhere.
Yeah, Bryan. Anything else you want to say about this Fiora list before we move on?
Yeah, so I do think there's a really cool precedent set by this deck, and also I think technically uh, by Draven, in which we have more than 2 champion units for the champion. Specifically, the Fiora list for sure, because I have it in front of me, plays all 3 Fioras. The one from the last set, and then the 2 that just came with the starter deck that are in this set. And I think that's really cool because that just means we can still create support for these old characters or for characters coming up and give them even more than just one character on each symbol.
Yeah, it is cool that Fiora is playing literally all 3 Fioras, and
Yeah.
they all make sense within context of the deck. So
Yeah, that was a good point.
Thank you. That's why I made it.
thanks,
Oh,
Nick.
let me just glaze you up a little bit there.
But yeah, let's go ahead and move on over to
Hate
the
you
first
guys.
place of the first place deck from the Wuhan City Challenge. It was Draven.
It was Draven versus Draven. I'm kind of curious what the 2 lists. Maybe if they're any different.
They look very similar.
Yeah, I'm looking at it real quick, and
They are the exact same almost.
Well, the one what's really interesting is second place list plays the Timo Scout.
That's
Yeah.
why.
And it looks like the first place list runs N Edge of Night.
So let's go over this first list, the first place list. Draven, as you know, when you win a combat, draw a card.
Boom.
It's good.
Card draw, baby.
He's playing one Draven in his list, at least in the main board, and it's his chosen champion. It's Draven Vanquisher.
Which
4 energy cost. When I win a combat, play gold gear token exhausted. When I attack or defend, you may pay 1 power, 1 red power. If you do, give me 2 might this turn. So obviously that's where you spend your gold.
Yep, spend the
as you
fury.
need it. Playing 3 Overzealous Fan, which I mean we kind of figured he would, just because this kind of gives you like auto win status if they attack into you with one
Yeah, with one unit, and you had somebody besides them on it, you could just go no.
Yeah, so you got 3 Overzealous Fan, 3 Tide Turner, which is kind of cool.
It's definitely interesting.
2 Treasure Hunter. When I move, play a gold gear token. Kind of facilitates your Dream Vanquisher or like playing some of your other stuff. Playing 3 of the red Kaisa that we currently see in every list. You know, you're gonna whenever you conquer, draw a card. So if you're getting if there's not combat to be had, you're still gonna get drawing a card for just going somewhere. One Noxus Hopeful, which is Legion, cost 2 less for a 4 might unit. 3 Darius Trefarian, which I mean,
Darius is
card's
also
really
the
good.
GOAT right now.
Just a good card.
Helps
Red-
you
Red Darius is
basically
amazing.
helps you accelerate into like putting a body on a battlefield and fighting when you need to. This list kind of following a trend we've been seeing with we've been seeing. It looks like more people in China are starting to put value into
Bring
Here Thunder Song.
Yeah, I
which
think
is
this card's cool.
it's the set 1 card that's 6 power or 6 energy, no power, 5 might. When you play me, opponents can't play cards this turn. So your opponents
Sounds
just
great.
like don't get to interact with you for that turn. You just get to go do stuff.
Yeah, I do think this card was on my radar because I'm like, it's basically like silence from Magic.
The Lambs.
Yes, from the Lambs. In which you just go, hey man, you don't get anything else. I didn't ask for you to interact with me. I'm gonna go play the game
This
now.
is my turn.
No cards from your hand get to come out. Don't show me any of them. And it's the same idea. You just slam it down and you go, I don't care what's on your hand. I just want to see what's on your board. And if what's on your board doesn't beat mine, I'll just win.
Yeah, exactly. Like really good for like those in the game plays. Like, okay, I need to conquer these, and I don't want you to be able to interact with Rebuke or any of the tricky purple cards that we often see. Also playing 3 Ferrous Forerunners, which is a 6 energy, 1 power, 6 might new mech.
Yeah, from the mech.
It has Death Kneel, play 2 3 mech unit tokens to your base when it dies. So it basically goes, all right, I'm just going to split into 2 dudes when I die.
It's like Craterhoof, right? For Magic from a long, long time ago.
Craterhoof.
Craterhoof Behemoth, I think was it. Maybe it's a different one.
I don't.
You're thinking of the worm.
Maybe I don't know. That was back when I was basically like a teenager. I just remember that being a very common effect.
I don't know anything about Magic. The Gathering.
You're a liar.
Or the performative arts. But yeah, basically just splits into 2. This helps you kind of keep board pressure because Draven needs to be fighting.
Yeah, for sure. Seems very solid.
The big problem you have is if you're a fight oriented deck and you have one bad combat or they get one over on you, it can be really hard to reestablish.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
And then in the gears we see Longsword, which we kind of assumed would probably be in Draven. And it's just a +2 power effect.
I mean, Spinning Axe,
which of course, obviously,
kind of a given, being the signature.
Big thing being that Longsword has quick draw.
So does Spinning Axe.
If you're not exactly. So the big thing is you don't have to overcommit until you go, oh, your number is higher than mine. Let's play.
Spinning Axe, of course, has temporary, so you get to play around it, but also gives +3, which with like Vanquisher, and then you spend an extra 1, you can tap the 2 for Spinning Axe, spend both, and then Draven Vanquisher is a 9 might unit, which is very hard to deal with.
And then another hidden card in this list, we got Edge of
Night. Yeah, this card's interesting.
Yep.
I'm guessing the idea is basically just to kind of go surprise. It's a little bit more than you thought. That's probably why we're running things like Tide Turner.
Yeah, I feel like this is probably just to like maintain a win combat that you probably shouldn't win, or like against other purple decks, or against stuff like when they go to try to force you off a battlefield or like force you out of combat. You can go, well, actually, I'm going to flip Tide Turner, and I know you just moved that to my base, but I'm actually going to put it on the battlefield. Or I've got this scary unit sitting at my base or another battlefield. I know you thought you were going to get this one for free. I'm actually going to move my big scary unit over here. And it also allows you to put like Draven Vanquisher wherever you need him with Tide Turner, because you just go, he's going to go wherever Tide Turner is. And there's not a lot of stuff removal from bases.
It's very premium.
So, if they're spending the premium stuff to try to kill what's in your base, sure, then they're probably not making a whole lot of board presence that turn. And this gives you the ability to kind of sit things that are pretty strong in your base without having to hope they don't have something crazy that just kills at a battlefield.
For sure. I think Blood Rush, that card's gonna be so played.
Oh yeah,
That
Blood
is
Rush is
so
so good.
free.
I mean, it's just in my opinion better cleave.
It's not necessarily better cleave if you're only wanting to pay the one, but if you have any extra, you just get the option to go. It scales way better than cleave.
Yeah,
Obviously.
I almost feel like you would play like 2-1, or like you would play like 1-1. Or...
I could definitely see a world where if you're really into it, you're playing 3 Blood Rush and 1 or 2 Cleave. And you go, Cleave is just my 4th and 5th copy of Blood Rush. Sure. I don't quite get there with it, but it'll do enough.
Yeah, I can see that, especially having like Ferris Forerunner and stuff on board.
Yeah.
And like Treasure Hunter and these other things that kind of they want to move and you want to get into stuff, but they're not exactly combat ready. This kind of gives you the if you are playing 3 Blood Rush and like 2-ish cleave, 1 or 2 cleave, having the ability to spend those and really put those on battlefields meaningfully early and kind of curb any bit of whatever, because then you're paying 1 to buff that unit, but then you're drawing a card and replacing if you win. So
pay an energy, kill your opponent, get a point, draw a card is 100% the rate everybody would pay every single turn.
Exactly. Nick, you want to run us through the spells?
Sure, yeah. I mean, so we've been over Blood Rush, running 3 of those. Then we got 2 stack deck, 3 Flight or Flight, another hidden card, good for moving those guys around, getting
very good.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the really good cards as we've kind of already talked about. Running 1 hard bargain, kind of like what we saw with Irelia for the other tournament as well. Just one of those.
I'm a little surprised it's just 1 because it's like our only hard cancel on.
Yeah, considering there's no access to green here, I would have expected this to be run at 2, maybe even 3.
I would maybe do it at 2, but that's just because like then I have the extra option to cancel something else in the future.
Yeah.
Like he gives me the tempo one and then gives me the big one where I go, I'm paying out. No thanks. I don't ask for this card.
We're running 2 rebuke. Solid card. 2 ride the wind. Another solid card. Good. 1 switcheroo. I love this card.
Switcheroo is interesting.
I think switcheroo is so interesting.
You want to talk about switcheroo a little bit?
Yeah. It's 2 power, 2 I'm really bad at
energy.
What these
it's costs 2 energy,
are.
2 power.
2 energy, 2 power. It is a hidden card. It is action. It says swap the mites of 2 units at the same battlefield this turn. You want to come at me with your big boy? Sorry. I now have that power. Goodbye.
Actually, my treasure hunter is now whatever your thing is, and you are a 1 mite unit.
Have fun with that. Bye-bye. See you later.
And of course, as an action, you can pay the big cost instead of the hidden cost to try and force in a big fight, which is really cool. I think the spells in this are really neat.
Very true. No, I like them. I like a lot of the purple stuff that we're seeing as well, which is obviously what they do too, because they're running the majority of these spells are purple.
Yeah, and spells, I think purple has some of the best spells, like in color. Definitely out of the
I'm growing really fond of purple as I've continued to play the game.
In the battlefields, we only have 1 new battlefield, Treasure Hoard, which is when you conquer here, you may pay 1 energy to play a gold token, gold gear token exhausted, and then it's Targon's Peak, it's Zon's Warren, which both make sense to me. We're just trying to get more card advantage. We're just trying to keep things up so we can win additional combats to draw new cards. And
then our sideboard. I mean, you've got the extra stack deck in case you really are looking for something you have to have for the matchup. Your extra hard bargain. So
there's that extra hard bargain we were talking about.
Piercing Light in the sideboard is really interesting.
Talk about that.
I think Piercing Light is a very interesting card, and I expect this card to start seeing main board play just because you pay 2 to deal 2. You get to deal 2 at a battlefield, and then 1 to any other unit. So you can go, I'm going to clear this battlefield. I'm going to hit this thing for 2 at this battlefield. And I'm going to hit that thing in your base, and it has repeat. So if you're like, man, I really, really, really need to get rid of that, I'm going to spend another 2, and then a power. I'm going to hit. I'm going to hit 2. Or what's cool is it works independently. To like you're replaying the effect, so you
Yeah.
can choose new targets. So
Yeah,
if you
that's what I was
really
gonna
need
say.
to, you have the ability, kind of almost like bullet time. To
Yeah.
just go, I'm going to pay into this and I'm going to clear what I want out of it. Um, so I think this is a really accessible card, and I expect this to start being like a one of main board, one of sideboard, or maybe even 2 of main board if you're feeling like you really need to clear stuff. Because this thing clears entire battlefields. It can kill problem units in the base. I think Piercing Light is actually a very good card, and I expect the stocks in that one to rise.
I agree. I think it's really cool that you can basically just like, I'll ping 2 things at battlefields for 2. That'll let me win this fight, and then I'll deal 4 to a unit back. 4 is kind of a magic number in our game right now. I'll kill this thing in base that maybe just dropped and you don't get to use it.
And now it's like in set 2 as we're generating gold, and we've got a lot of stuff that like like treasure hoard and stuff where we're generating gold. Piercing Light, being able to spend gold on it instead of having to recycle is pretty good. Might also make if you really really want to play like 2 or 3 Piercing Lights, you might run the runes for it, or not the runes for it, the seals for it.
Yeah, get a seal or 2, pay out, and
So,
easily just be like, I'll blow up everything on the board, and
yeah, then we're seeing
something.
like and then like moving on to the next card, like we're seeing Treasure Hunter.
Mhm.
So we're seeing more. We're seeing all this gear. The extra Edge of Knights in the sideboard. A second Noxus Hopeful, and a second Bjorn
Green
Thunder
Hair.
song. Which
Mhm.
so like this is where
Yeah.
the game 1 is kind of like I'm gonna figure out. I've got my core pieces. I'm gonna like navigate my way through this, and then once I get a chance to sideboard, I'm gonna slot into exactly what I need to take this match out.
For sure.
Like, I need bigger units at less cost. You have your extra Noxus Hopeful. Oh, well, there's multiple turns in a row that I need to stop you from playing stuff, or I need to see it more. It's more important for me to have it.
Yeah, I think this list is really cool.
Yeah, I think it's a very solid list. I think it's got a lot of good ideas. I mean, obviously, it won the event, and it had to have some good ideas, right?
At least one. They played Draven. Yeah, I think this is a really cool list. Maybe I would run different battlefields, but like, I would be fine with trying this list out pretty much as is and seeing how it
Yeah.
felt.
List has some really cool cards, some really good combos, some interesting things, which I mean, obviously the person that piloted it got to see and took them all the way to the top with.
What?
Took them all the way to the top.
The
they
top?
won. The
The
top.
top.
The tip top. Yeah,
Anyway,
you had to use the tippy toes to get there.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty interesting. Anything else you guys want to say about this Draven list before we move on to the last tournament we're going to talk about today?
no, let's talk
I
about
have
the
to
last
change my
tournament.
headset battery. Sorry.
Nick is literally a robot.
We saw it on stream.
Nick's over here. Yeah, guys, I just got to change my
just gotta
headset
tape
battery. And now I'm
I
back.
have activated. I am Nick.
All right. Well, now that we've got a robot on the team, we at least can get some extra AI analyzation on this. So, this last tournament, we've got actually won by a Kaisa list. And we're still going to go into it, even though it's Kaisa, and I have an aversion to Kaisa. But I do want to talk about some interesting things popped up. There was a Rek'Sai in top 4, which is the first out of these 3 events that we saw a Rek'Sai place, I believe.
I think so.
The Rek'Sai
so.
list looks pretty interesting. This looks like an actually really cool list. It's what's really cool about this list is it's playing 3 Seals of Rage, and I feel like we don't ever see Seals being played like that. So
Yeah, I don't think it's very common comparably. Like at least compared to how it used to be. I mean, obviously we're seeing Kaisa Survivor.
I would also like to point out this list is also playing 1 Piercing Light in the main board and 2 in the sideboard.
I mean,
That's why it's playing those Seals of Rage for
Yeah.
Piercing Light.
I mean, and also like Piercing Light's probably pretty
And
good in
Falling
her since she
Star,
gets to ignore
presumably?
one.
Well, yeah, the big thing, and the reason it's playing 3 seals is it's playing 3 Falling Star, it's playing the Void Rush, Piercing Light. It's also playing Cold of the Week, Hidden Blade. Like, there's a lot of power cost in this deck. It's playing 3 Longsword,
Sun Disc.
Yeah, like it doesn't have ways to cheat because Rek'Sai doesn't have ways to like cheat the equipment onto things. So you kind of have to pay like if you want to play this longsword. I mean, you're gonna have to pay the power it costs, and then you can quick draw it to equip, but that mixed with all of these spells, like you'd be recycling a lot. This list playing like the one Rek'Sai Breacher, which is the Accelerate Rek'Sai. And Rek'Sai, for those that don't know at home, when you conquer, you may exhaust me to reveal the top 2 cards of your main deck. You may play one, then recycle the rest. So, like as you're conquering, you get to search a little deeper and you just to play cards. So, you're actually playing a lot of units in this list. You're playing 19 units, which is really neat. There's some cool stuff in here, like we talked about. You're playing the 3 seals and everything, and you're playing Darius Shafarian. You're playing one of the Rumbles, which is interesting.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about Rumble.
But you're playing some interesting stuff here. Under Titans getting played. When you play me, give your other units +2 might this turn. As I'm revealed from your deck, you get to add 2 power. So, or not 2 power, 2 energy, which will let you then continue playing stuff. So it's really cool. One of my main things I wanted to point out was like just talked about. I think Piercing Light has some stock, and we're already seeing some of that in one of the top lists. But again, to move away from this, and
I was gonna say I think it's interesting that they're running Cleave instead of.
Yeah, they're running Cleave instead of Bloodlust. Yeah, I think it's because of how much they're spending. I would assume on like
they just don't want to spend the second one to go to 4.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, makes sense. That's why I was like, well, there's definitely a world where Cleave is still the better choice. So,
this tournament actually seeing a lot of like old heads pop up. Like you're seeing the Kaisas pop up, Yee's in top 8. You're seeing Heck. I was making fun of you earlier. You're seeing Victor pop up.
Yeah, hacker him. It's like, that's not a character in this game yet.
You see a set.
You see a set in top
boss.
16.
Yeah, like there's a lot 16. Of older stuff interspersed with a whole lot of Irelia. I see like 1, 2, 3.
There's an Ari in top 32, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, there's like 4 Irelias, 3 Dravens, like in top 16. Like we're seeing the same things kind of showing up here.
Seeing some of the stuff that's tried and true still seeing play. This tournament's a great example of that. Not a whole lot of new stuff. You're seeing MF in top 32, and then you're really seeing Irelia. This Kaisa list, or not Kaisa, this Rek'Sai list is like one of the only things that really breaks the mold. I don't think we saw Rek'Sai at all in
the other 2.
Events.
No, I don't believe
so. Not this high up, and then seeing like Draven in top 8, seeing a couple of Aurelias in top 8, but let's look and see how the Kaisa list is evolving.
Yeah, let's look at this Kaisa list.
So Kaisa, for those that don't know, shouldn't be played. Unplayable, bad character. Just don't even bother.
Something like that. Yeah, so I think this one does have some extra spice changed. Its bottom end is different.
It's running mechs.
Yes,
it cares about mechs.
Forecaster, Gem Jammer. I mean, really, it's just those 2.
Pharaoh's Forerunner and Production Surge.
Yeah, I mean, like, just makes them.
Yeah.
It makes it cheaper. I mean, Production Surge just creates a mech token that's pretty solidly built, replaces itself, and you're just paying 4 to draw a card, create a 3/3.
Yeah, we'll talk about that as we go through this list because we do want to go through the entire list.
Yeah, let's talk about time.
All right, I just mean there's a sub theme here.
Sure, and we'll talk about that sub theme as we cover the list.
Stop yelling at me.
There's an order to these things, Nick. I told you, get your programming right.
So the chosen champion
on.
is obviously still Kaisa Survivor. Very strong.
Notably, only Kaisa Survivor in this list.
Yes, which has been like back and forth in a lot of the lists. I've seen some where just the chosen champ, and then where they run like an extra one in the main. It doesn't seem like Kaisa actually wants to run a playset of her character.
No. Kaisa doesn't care.
On the bottom half of the units, we have Forecaster and Gem Jammer, which are both newer. Forecaster gives mechs vision, which just lets you look at the top of the deck. Gem Jammer gives a unit ganking, which is kind of cool. It's a cool
Vision
buff.
also lets you recycle the card, so
Correct.
that's really strong.
Yes, you get to look
Which is
at
why
it. You get to put it
they
away.
have all this mech sub theme.
Yeah. Planetary Poro, Steals Gold. Noxus Hopeful, of course, is just a cheap aggro card. Darius, Trefarian is just very good still. Then we have Ferris. We talked about Ferris Forerunner in multiple decks so far because it's very good. It replaces itself. It's good cost, good power. And then, of course, we still have Thousand Tail Watcher in like units because this card is also very strong. And that -3 can pretty much make the like follow-ups of this bottom half, the Forecaster Gems, and then also like the mech tokens that come from Ferris Forerunner just be solid. They trade in well.
What's really cool about that is if you're playing Forecaster, when your Ferris Forerunner dies, you then get Vision twice.
Yeah, you vision and vision.
Gem Jammer, whenever you play it, give a unit ganking, which is very interesting. Like we've seen more and more use of ganking.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like good stuff. Like I do see the mech sub theme, which is very important because like production surge is going to allow you to, do stuff. But as we get into the spells, you're playing 3 cleave, 3 hex tech ray, deal 3 to unit battlefield. Kaisa's going to give power. Cleave, you can get the assault 3. You care more, I think, about the assault 3 in this and the 1 instead of
like paying the extra.
Because you really want to have you kind of want to have your cake and eat it too in Kaisa.
For sure.
You had 2 retreats, 3 stupefies, pretty regular, 3 falling stars, production surge, which lets you play. What's up?
So with Forecaster though, so you play your production surge, it's obviously going to be cheaper because of all the mechs you have most of the time. You're going to be able to play your mech with Forecaster. You're going to be able to vision 1, and then you get to decide if that's the card you want to draw or not.
Yes,
which is pretty cool.
Because you do them in order.
Correct. Which is the big thing of note is this is a spell card that plays like, yes, you play it for cheaper. So on a 2, you get to play a 3 might unit and draw a card, which is really important. The big thing is this is like a decent card if you're playing like mechs and stuff like in Rumble. The big thing is Kaisa gets to ignore that power cost. So you're paying 2, no recycle for a 3 might unit and drawing a card. And if you do have Forecaster, you do get to see what you're picking before.
Yeah, it's basically a buffed version of Elder Poro or the
Spirit Mother.
The learning one. No, the one that's like teaching Poro that's like a 2 power and it draws you a card. And it's like a 3 drop. That's
Tank
also blue. Yeah, the one that has tank and draws you a card.
It's called like Tank Yordle or something.
It might be Yordle Elder or Yordle Teacher or something like that.
It's Yordle no longer in these lists, bad boy.
Because it's been replaced by Production Surge. The only downside for Production Surge, of course, is that it is cancelable. Every cancel we've been shown does not cancel units. It cancels spells.
Yeah, which is fine, but you're playing 3 of this, obviously. Kaisa gets big advantage of this. This is a huge card for Kaisa.
It's very good.
I think her not having to pay the power cost and playing these other units, like I think Ferris solves some of the problems Kaisa has already. That Annie takes a that takes advantage of
Mhm.
by just being able to stop them with the units, because you're going to kill the Ferris and Ferris is going to make more. So, and then their mechs, which helps the rest of your stuff. You're playing two Singularity. Singularity is a card we've seen come up more and more and more. It's a very
Mhm.
good
Mhm.
card. One Acathian Rain, and one Time Warp in this list.
Um,
And we got our battlefields. We have Obelisk of Power, nothing new there. We have Void Gate, nothing new, and the Zon Warrens.
Also,
So
not anything new.
all just some set one stuff. Nothing new, nothing crazy. All the I want more bang for my buck stuff for Kaisa.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Sideboard, Bellows Breath, one Bellows Breath. I think that's really cool. Um, that's a one cost, one power action with repeat for 1 and 1 power. Deal 1 damage to up to 3 units at the same location. Pretty sick.
I have a feeling that
Uh,
comes in when you just play Void Gate, so that you can just do twos. It's just a cheap Acathian.
yeah. You got 2 Blood Rush in the sideboard. So not only the 3 cleave, we do have two Blood Rush for when we need more. We
Mhm.
have a Piercing Light. Seen Piercing Light again. We got 1 more Noxus Hopeful,
Mhm.
2 Thermo Beams. Got to kill those gears when they come up, and 1 Unchecked Power.
Let's start
So
over.
pretty solid thing here. If they use Unchecked Power with their Ferris Forerunner, they'll just get their stuff, right?
Yeah, you would kill the Ferris
Yeah.
Forerunner, you'll get the 2 in the base, and then you're done.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, like you don't lose anything.
Yeah. And that's this winning Kaisa list.
List seems really cool. Ferris Forerunner is going to be in so many lists, I think. Like that seems to be a standout in here. Um, we talked about Blood Rush and Piercing Light being cards that we think are going to be really good. Uh, Red and Purple are kind of eating good. They just have some good new cards.
This list makes me excited for the mech tribal
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, just especially because I mean, her and Rumble are on the same colors,
Yep.
so
Yeah,
Rumble
this is
gets to do
exciting.
some of this stuff. I think Rumble does this a little bit different, but yeah, I'm excited to see. I think Rumble might also be one that could come up. Like we said, there was a Rumble list that did okay in the last one, so um, and like he gives your mech shield, so making all your dudes like better,
Mm-hmm.
like for holding.
Defend a little easier.
So, yeah, I think we're seeing some interesting stuff. I think Red Blue has a lot of really cool cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny that Kaisa's kind of shifted towards mechs, at least this Kaisa list.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely interesting.
Um, the what's really funny is like some of the other Kaisa lists are doing kind of something similar, but like with different mechs. Like some playing like choosing to play more one of mechs.
Sure, sure. Makes sense to me. I mean, obviously, there's the recency bias of new red blue stuff. Let's play with it. But then you also have you have these cards that are still good from previous set, and then you have these new cards that like you see them, and you're like, yeah, that's really strong. I don't know why I wouldn't play these. I'm excited for Spiritforged because there's a lot of really good stuff and a lot of really cool characters. Obviously,
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, you do have recency bias, but
yeah,
also, I mean, I feel like there's a lot more synergy within what is added. So, like, I feel like you have, I feel, I don't know the best way to say this, um, but it's really interesting seeing like that mechs are really coming up because there weren't a lot of them in the last set.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. There weren't very many of them.
I mean, I think anytime you see tribal elements start getting into a game, you're gonna see, I mean, they're good for a reason. So the decks that
Usually,
are gonna usually the decks that are gonna try to play it are gonna or that can play it are gonna try to
yeah.
some degree.
I mean, you see it in a lot of games where it becomes a lot of times if the tribal aspect is actually really good, it becomes, well, why aren't I playing the tribal stuff? And then if it's not great, you'll sometimes just see some of the tribal pieces and kind of have this like sub theme that's like in this Kaisa deck. You're like, yeah, I have some mechs. I also have a bunch of stuff that isn't mech, but I do have enough mechs to trigger this sub theme and get bonuses out of it.
And that's I think we've covered these events at length. Definitely go look up these deck lists for yourself. Yeah, these are only 128 people per event, but I think it's a really good indication of the way the meta's forming. If you've enjoyed this episode of Riftbound and Down, please like, comment down below, share it, hit the subscription button, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these. Uh, we put a lot of hard work into a lot of the videos that go out on the channel, be it event coverage and everything else that we do, and we want to keep doing that stuff. So if you're enjoying the channel, please subscribe. It helps us a ton.
Yeah, it makes us look really cool.
It also helps us a ton. And then I can
Also
brag
makes
to
you
Bryan
look really cool.
about how many subs we have on YouTube. I can go, Bryan, look how many subs we have on YouTube, not you.
Whoa.
But that's gonna be it for this Riftbound and Down. I'm Jake. The AI are already here.
I'm Nick. I'm not a robot, I promise.
I'm Bryan. I am a robot.
He's lying. He's not one of us.